Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan selamat pagi. So hari ini kita continue kita punya kelas dengan dengan satu lagi tajuk baru is clustering. So just a recap dengan apa yang kita belajar sebelum ni. Kita dah discuss about supervised dengan unsupervised. So kita dah belajar pasal supervised classification yang mana kita depend on training data. Kita kena ada model sebelum kita buat prediction. Then another technique dalam machine learning we call that unsupervised, and part of unsupervised is cluster analysis. So today we just need to look at apa dia cluster analysis. So kita takkan cover semua sebab kita nak this data mining more to understanding the concept and learn some algorithm. Okay. Untuk cluster analysis ni kita akan hanya fokus kepada teknik yang dipanggil sebagai K-means, okay? Anyway, kita akan belajar juga dari segi konsep first, what is cluster analysis, the group of cluster analysis, advantage and disadvantage, and teknik yang akan, macam saya cakap tadi, yang akan kita belajar fokus dalam ni ialah K-mean, okay? So what is the cluster analysis? So cluster analysis is a collection of data object yang mana sama ada kita nak tahu. Okay, sebab sekarang ni kita kena fikir is unsupervised. So what the unsupervised? So bila unsupervised, kita tak ada training data. So we don't have any label. That's why apa yang kita cari dalam cluster analysis unsupervised, kita nak group data tersebut dalam cluster yang similar. So that's the idea of the cluster analysis. So that's why one important concept in cluster analysis is to find similarity or dissimilarity. So similar related to another in the same group, or dissimilar unrelated to the object in the other group. So macam itulah contohnya kita group student based on FIK student, based on FBK student. So that's all kita groupkan. Okay. So that's the idea of cluster analysis. So in the definition term, finding similarity between data according to the characteristic found the data and grouping similar data object into cluster. So it's part of unsupervised, and typical application is standalone tool or proposing step for other algorithms. So cluster analysis can be combined with the classification analysis. That's why maybe if in the first step kita using as a pre-processing. Then bila kita dah ada data, then kita start dengan classification. Okay. So for the next slide, this is example of how clustering will be used in multidisciplinary effort. So from the image processing, spatial data analysis, GIS dan samanya, nak tengok map dan sebagainya, economic science seperti market research. Penting kan kalau kita nak predict nak cluster macam mana produk yang berjaya, macam mana sebagainya. So it's really important matter. That's why we try to understand the attribute before we analyze that thing. Dan termasuk dalam carian World Wide Web, document classification, banyak lagi lah dalam clustering. Okay. So this is example of some application for marketing. Cluster can help marketer discover distinct group in their customer base, and they use this knowledge to develop target marketing program. For example, for insurance company, the insurer want to identify the potential customer. So nak cari customer yang okay, maybe dia study juga macam mana customer yang low risk, okay, untuk dia mencapai keuntungan. Contoh. So that's why it's really important marketing. Ataupun kita nak tengok cluster macam mana kita nak how we want to market some product. So that's another important benda yang kita boleh tengok. Dan yang kedua is example sini land use dan insurance. Okay, saya dah bagi tanda insurance and marketing. Insurance marketing is about how to market a product, and insurance is about how you want to identify group for motor insurance policy holder ataupun insurans nyawa. City planning, identifying group of house according to their house type, value and geographical location. A quick study. Okay. Apa yang kita nak tengok clustering ni is apa yang membezakan antara dia dengan classification is classification we already know what attribute that we want to use and what class label that we want to target. But in clustering we doesn't have any attribute yet. When you do the study, then after that you find this one, that's the clustering process. Okay. Then what is good clustering? A good clustering method will produce high quality cluster. What I mean of high quality cluster is, one is high inter-class similarity. Maksudnya if you have a class, antara member dalam kelas tu dia sangat-sangatlah mempunyai similarity yang rapat. Contohnya kita buat cluster based on negeri. So dalam ni kawan awak adalah daripada negeri yang sama dan sebagainya. So itu adalah intra class similarity ataupun low interclass similarity. So yang ni is distinctive between cluster. Untuk nak membezakan antara satu kelas dengan satu kelas, mestilah dia punya similarity dia is low. Maksudnya dia tak similar lah. Lagi tak similar lagi bagus. Between one group and one group is between one main group and one main group, awak kena ada dissimilarity yang besar lah untuk membezakan group tu. Okay. Contohnya in the case of COVID-19 now, so what we can try achieve is we can cluster the high risk patient that if COVID-19, he have COVID-19 and he give it really in a bad state. Contohnya patient yang umur 60 tahun ke atas, the older patient yang ada comorbid ni macam darah tinggi, penyakit jantung dan sebagainya. This all can group in the similar class, yang mana decision making boleh buat certain decision lebih efektif lah. Itu yang boleh keluar. Dan yang seterusnya, the quality of clustering result depend on both the similarity measure used by the method and its implementation. And quality also measure kalau kita jumpa hidden pattern. Yang mana bila kita buat clustering ni baru kita tahu, oh this group begini. Dan this group begini. So pattern tersebut hanya boleh dapat bila kita buat clustering process. That's what we call this hidden pattern. Hidden pattern yang kita boleh generate from the clustering. Okay. So this is more to technical term to measure the quality of clustering. Similarity is expressed in terms of distance function. Typically metric D, distance, I and J. So sejauh mana I ni adalah rapat dengan J. Kalau bagi saya contoh ialah sejauh mana Kamal rapat dengan Minah. Contoh example. So kena study lah. Dia negeri yang sama ke, dia ambil subjek sama ke. So this kind of similarity can be measured using mathematical formula lah. Then one of important formula that used in clustering is we call that a distance, Euclidean distance. So yang tu kita guna dalam K-mean itself. Yang tu kita tengok nantilah. So kita bercakap pasal quality. Dan apa requirement untuk clustering in data mining? Satunya is scalability, mesti lagi banyak, lagi besar lah kita kena tengok. Dan ability to deal with different type of attribute, so banyak attribute yang kita deal. Able to handle dynamic data, so data is already changed. Describe a cluster with arbitrary shape. Jadi more technical than I can explain in more calculation sikit. Minimum requirement for domain knowledge to determine input parameter. Able to deal with noise and outlier. So kena ingat data mesti ada noise dan mesti ada outlier. So it's important kita remove yang noise and outlier ni first before we going to do the clustering. But sometimes in the clustering, they are focused to find this noise or this outlier. For example, kalau penggunaan credit card, kalau tiba-tiba bil melambung, is not normal range that we call outlier. So this outlier is really important to make decision. So itu yang konsep yang kadang-kadang outlier ni juga penting untuk analyze. So kita bagi incentive to all the high dimensionality, incorporation of user and interpretation and usability. So ini boleh baca ya. So this is four major type of clustering approach. Kita ada partitioning approach. So partitioning approach ni dia construct various partition and evaluate them by the sum criterion. So minimizing the sum of square error. Contohnya K-mean yang kita akan belajar nanti. So apa partition ni buat is more to is group this data based on the partition, macam group, and he try to find this dia punya data tu, he try to fit this data which the right partition yang dia ada. That's what we call the partition approach. Then we have hierarchical approach. Yang ni more tu macam kita buat decision tree lah, dia ada kaitan dan sebagainya. Kita ada density based approach, kita ada grid based approach. Okay, untuk this case, saya ada link dalam clip dengan satu YouTube. Okay. 4 basic type of cluster in data analysis. So kita skip sikit dah. Saya pergi. Okay. Boleh tengok dalam clip video ni is provide more detail on this cluster analysis. Sometimes given the different term. Contohnya centroid clustering is its partition and clustering. So kita ada density, kita ada dispersion, kita ada connectivity yang more to hierarchy. So definition dia quite different, tapi explanation dalam ni is benda yang sama lah. So boleh pergi pada YouTube ni dan tengok macam mana dia define differentiate between cluster. Okay, saya tak nak go detail on ni. Okay, dan kalau ada question kita boleh guna dalam online punya ni lah, question lah, Webex or forum dan sebagainya, boleh buat question on sini. Okay, so then kita continue kita punya kelas dengan apa ni, example of okay, ni ada contoh lagi lah, major clustering approach tu. Kita ada model based, frequent, user guide. Tapi saya rasa yang penting yang 4 ni sama juga dengan yang apa yang diterjemahkan dalam tu tadi. Okay, dan so hari ni kita tengok for clustering, we take one algorithm that we can use for the study and try to understand how to make a cluster. That we call that k-mean clustering method. Oh sorry, dia punya page tak nampak sini. So. Okay. What we want to do is we want to partition object into k non-empty subset. K is a cluster, mean how many cluster we want to make. So 3 cluster, so 3k we want to make. So that's cluster. Then we compute seed point. Seed point ni ialah kita ambil random point as a centroid. Centroid ni dia punya nilai tengah-tengah. Then from then we count the current position, the centroid, and we count the mean to other point. Okay, so bila kita define mean to other point tu, kita akan nampak yang mana lagi dekat, so it goes to that cluster. Then we go to assign each project to the cluster with the nearest seed point, and we go back to step 2, and dia ada banyak iteration lah sampai dia punya dapat nilai yang sebenarnya. So dalam once again dalam YouTube saya bagi macam mana nak create calculation tersebut. So we go step by step. So dalam ni kita how to calculate k-mean. Okay. 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 This is the process of how we create k-mean clustering. We have we start, then we have input number of cluster. Input number of cluster is like we want to know what cluster or how many cluster that we want to make. So let's say we decide for 4 clusters. So we decide that kita nak buat 4 cluster, nak pecahkan data to the 4 cluster and try to group all this data that we have to this 4 cluster. That is number of cluster. Then we calculate centroid. Centroid is a random point that we create as a center of the data. So means data akan kita create dia punya distance, dan kita akan put kat mana yang dia paling sesuai. Then that's we calculate distance, and we group based on minimum distance. Maksudnya lagi dekat data tu, lagi similar to the group. Contohnya Dan data awak negeri yang sama, lagi antara requirementnya ialah maksudnya group awak ni lagi dekat lah, awak ada relation lah. Dan mungkin awak daripada daerah yang sama, lagi dekat dia punya relation. Awak daripada sekolah yang sama, lagi dekat dia punya relation. So that is how we calculate a distance. Okay. So for example, okay. Okay. So for example, let's see this algorithm. Let's see this problem. So we want to apply k-mean clustering for the following data set for 2 cluster. So that means our k is 2. So then tabulate all the assignments. So we have x and y. We want to put the cluster x and to put in the cluster y. So we have this data. So we have data 1, we have x 185. Data 2, we have x is 7. Data 1 kita ada x 185, y is 72. Data 2, x is 170, y is 56. So and the list goes on. So apa yang kita buat, the first step is kita pilih 2 centroid. In this case we choose 1 and 2. Okay.
And here it is given.
Okay.
I have taken 6, but then they are given to us.
Okay.
Taken as
Okay, so K1 we have cluster K2, so kita ada
185, 72.
Okay.
And for sample 2 is 170 and 56. So those two become my initial
Okay.
cluster.
So this is the initial cluster. We call that K1 cluster and K2 cluster. So dia ambil data yang pertama dengan data kedua 18572. Now kita nak calculate dia punya distance, okay?
Initial centroid values. And this is the cluster 2 value.
Okay, ini ialah kebanyakan menggunakan equilibrium distance untuk mengira k-mean, yang mana ini dia punya formula x minus a kuasa 2 x minus b kuasa 2, sebab dia nak buang negatif tu, dia nak dapatkan distance. So that's why it make this calculation formula. Dan formula pertama dia nak kira sejauh mana x dengan sejauh mana y. So untuk this first case, dia that just okay, I continue this one.
A the whole square, that is x minus. So the initial value will remain 185.
Okay. Ini ialah dia nak kira macam mana kelas data pertama sejauh mana dengan cluster 1, dan data kedua sejauh mana dengan cluster data pertama sejauh mana dengan cluster 2. By right, cluster pertama ni data yang sama, so result dia mestilah kosong sebab dia berada pada data pertama. That's why dia tolak yang sama. Tapi untuk data kedua, dia punya point dah berbeza. Distance dia ialah 29.93. So dia tolak je dia punya ni 170 minus 185. If you see, this is 170 minus 185. You can do vice versa because dia ada kuasa 2 kan. So so ni nak cari distance antara nombor 1 dengan nombor 2, okey. Lepas tu distance antara nombor 1 dengan nombor 1 yang sepatutnya adalah kosong. Okey, kalau kita tengok kat sini, okey.
Now the subtraction of
Okay.
the initially how we have to start.
So the result is 0, but cluster 2 is 21.93. So now he do the calculation.
That's my initial
Okay.
centroid for the cluster 1 and cluster 2.
Okay. He do the same calculation for the cluster
For the cluster
2.
1 and cluster 2.
Then the result is similar. So mean this is the case. Okay. For this one, just nak tunjuk macam mana distance tersebut bila antara satu data dengan data berbeza, tapi data sama yang jadi centroid, dia kosong lah sebab kita pilih dia sebagai centroid. Okay. Then we start pergi kepada data ketiga.
The next data set
Okay.
value,
The third data.
data set item value, which is
Okay.
168 and 60.
The next data is 160. So dia akan calculate distance this from the cluster 1
So 1. So this is
with is 20.
68 minus 180.
Okay.
That gives me 58.8.
Kemudian dia akan kira distance to the cluster 2.
Similarly, using
4.472 dia punya answer.
cluster,
Then the list goes on untuk semua cluster. Okay. Before that, okay.
the cluster tends
Okay. Before that, ini data ketiga. Okay, bila data ketiga ni, you see that sekarang ni kita tengok ni dia punya ni kan. Kita tengok data ketiga tu adalah kluster dia adalah lebih kepada kluster 2. Kluster 1 kan 20, kluster 2 lagi 4. So yang mana lagi minimum, maksudnya dia lagi dekat lah dia punya tu. So kalau kita tengok sini, we put the third data we build into cluster 2 with assignment 2. Okay. Dan akan ada perubahan pada cluster 2.
This particular data.
Okay.
For the minimum distance to the cluster 2.
Okay.
The value of
Yang mana the value of x and y dah berubah. Sebab ingat, kita panggil ni sebagai k-mean. So dia akan cari mean lah, average lah dia punya cluster. So sekarang ni kita dah ada 2 data dekat cluster 2. So we got new mean is 170 plus 168 divide by 2, 169, and yang ni pun 58. So for data yang keempat, untuk cluster 2 dia akan menggunakan nilai yang ini. Okay. So the list go, sorry. So we complete the next process. The fourth data is 179 and 68. So we have new value on cluster 1, dia punya value tak berubah. Okay. But cluster 2 dia punya value dah berubah. Kita ambil mean yang baru. So we got new value here. So once again we compare the result in this table. Which one? New cluster. So you see this, the fourth data is much similar to the cluster 1. So because it becomes smaller. So this fourth data akan masuk ke dalam cluster 1. So the next phase is you change the value in cluster 1. Dia akan jadi itulah. Dia akan jadi apa ni? Mean dia akan berubah lah. That's what we call k-mean. Okay. So mean dia berubah. Okay. Dan teruskan sampai akhir step. So when finally based on the result kita masuk balik. So you see this now we have a group. We have 2 group now. Okay. The data set 1 we go to the cluster 1. The data set 2 we go to cluster 2. That is central point. Kemudian kita ada yang ketiga akan pergi pada nombor 2. Okay, dia ada 2 member dalam cluster tu. Yang keempat akan pergi nombor 1, yang kelima akan pergi nombor 1, yang keenam ada pergi nombor 1. So we have 2 cluster now, which one cluster have 2 members and another cluster have 4 members in the group. So you see this how we group based on the clustering. So in this case we doesn't need training data to do a group. We just need based on the create a k-mean and we put in the right clustering. Okay. So this cluster can be redone many iteration untuk dia lagi kemas dan kita group dia lagi cantik lah. So benda tu boleh berubah. Okay, explanation ada detail dalam ni lah. Okay, we go back to our slide. Okay, before we finish. Okay. This example of the process or general process in clustering. You see this, the first one, we don't have any group. Then we do the first iteration. Kita dah nampak dia punya similarity yang mana merah tu dah pergi. So kita reassign lagi. Merah tu dah makin kita punya centroid yang merah tu lah. Merah tu kita punya centroid. Dia assign lagi. Kita dah nampak dia punya flow dah berbeza. Dia assign lagi. Dan finally we have group similar. Kita ada group group blue terang satu, blue muda satu. So this is the theory of how the clustering k-mean is happen. What is the weakness of a k-mean? So of course they have every algorithm have weaknesses. It's applicable only when mean is defined. Then what about the categorical data? So categorical data ni macam contohnya data yang tak boleh nak kira lah. Kan, kategori good, bad, apa semua tu is kategori. So kita tak boleh, dia ada method lain lah. Then we need to specify the number of cluster in advance. So itu juga problem sebab sometimes we don't know know what is the best cluster number for this algorithm. So for the data, we don't have. Contohnya kita nak group for COVID-19 case, kita nak group the potential of the risk patient that receive COVID. We need to specify first how many cluster that we want to, how many group that we want to make. I mean, this is not really practical. In fact, I think the first step we need to look at this data first. But in K-mean, kita kena define dia punya cluster. That problem lah. Unable to handle noisy data and outlier. So this is K-mean punya algorithm. So untuk lebih detail, kita boleh pergi belajar lagi dalam, kita boleh tengok algorithm semua. Kita tak cover dalam topik data mining ni. Apa yang kita nak is understand the concept of the clustering, what difference between classification, and understand one of the method of the clustering method. Okay. So yang ni boleh baca lagi dia punya advance. Okay, additional note. This is additional note. So how K-mean, what is the problem of K-mean method? Macam mana dia tak sensitif dengan outlier. Okay. Then ada juga enhancement of K-mean, what we call the K-median. K-median is, instead of taking the mean value of the object in the cluster as a reference point, median can be used which is most centrally located object in a cluster. Maksudnya dia terus cari yang betul-betul central punya cluster lah, median lah. So ini dia punya some method on K-median. Okay. So in sample. Okay. Okay, saya rasa itu semua kita punya overall konsep dalam clustering. So I just recap. Okay, what we learned today is we want to differentiate between clustering and classification. We know that classification is supervised, clustering is unsupervised, and we also go for one algorithm in clustering. We see how K-mean work, and in clustering also have a group, a divide by group, like we have a partition group, which K-mean is part of partition. We have density approach. We have 2 or 3 more algorithms. So you can go to the Google or ask me anything if you want understand more about this. And in cluster analysis, I also provide a forum. If you have a question, you can post this, or we can discuss after this during the meeting, Webex meeting or WhatsApp meeting. And I need you to do the exercise. We have how to calculate K-mean. Try to finish today. I mean, you need to finish today, and this is assumed as your attendance when you do the calculation in K-mean. Okay, so any question we discuss after this, feel free to contact me anytime to ask the question. You need to understand detail on the cluster analysis. Don't forget, next week we have a final exam, and I give you detail of the final exam time and etc. Okay, so by then, terima kasih. Assalamualaikum. Kita jumpa lagi minggu depan. Bye.